guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Rebecca, for those of you who are brand new. So this is a love reading for the Venus signs of Leo. So what that means is that where your Venus lays is the way you relate, the way you love. It's all about your relationships, and it can even spill a little out into your career. So this is the only type of love reading that I do. Most of my readings basically range in the spiritual realm, and so welcome to. I'd like to say thank you all so much for joining me. I am genuinely humbled every time I do this. Your likes, your loves, your support, it's always amazing. So, it's interesting because I saw this card while I was shuffling. We have She Who Avenges, Nemesis, Revenge, Outcomes, and Justice. So if you don't know where your Venus sign is, all you have to do is look it up with a free, just Google it, free astrology chart, and find out where your Venus sign is. Okay, while I look that up, I would like to invite you all to join me for the Facebook Live events. That is usually on Thursday nights. Sometimes lately I've been been doing them kind of every other week because I have a lot of family stuff going on. So you can find that in the description box below. And also, if you'd like to know more about how to get a personal reading, then you should email me, or you can check out the website. It will tell you to email me. If you're interested in any of my ramblings, please visit the website. I usually put out at least one blog a month, sometimes one a week. So enough of all of that, right? I hate introductions, so let's just go ahead and get into the reading. Nemesis, she who avenges, teaches a powerful lesson. Fight poison with poison, and both sides will lose. Revenge may seem the best answer, but carefully consider the outcome. How much of yourself are you willing to lose when faced with someone who has set themselves against you? Even if you wear a mask, you cannot hide from your own actions. Nemesis is the inescapable one who extracts retribution from those who would set themselves above the higher powers. This Nemesis card serves as a caution when drawn. Nemesis asks you to check your motives. Does your need for retribution lead you into a place you may not wish to be? If you have already made a bad choice, don't despair. There isn't anyone who can claim to have never made a poor decision. Moving forward, think about the consequences of your choices. Should your need for punishment fall within the legal purview, let those sworn to justice take over. Do not take matters into your own hands. This is a case of calling on justice, then stepping back to let the cards fall where they may. Set up firm boundaries to include whatever makes you feel safe, then let justice prevail. Your questions. Why am I called to this action? How important is it? How will I harm myself by taking revenge? Interesting for a love reading. Okay. So, let's look at the recent past. What is the past? We have the Hermit. So there's a lot of introspection here. What is the present? The Seven of Swords. Okay. What is the blockage? The Hierophant. I feel like for some of you there's a spiritual lesson here. there's this sense of turning around and facing the light. What is the guidance? The Empress. That is Venus herself. What is the outcome? We have the Queen of Cups. Very nice. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Wands. So there's a lot of fast movement here. This actually feels quite insistent is the word that came to mind. There's a sense here of these messages coming from a place of joy, of enlightenment. There's also this sense here that there's a lot of potential for growth coming off of these Eight Wands. So what is it that you're trying to grow? What is it that you're trying to reach for? What is it? Now there is a direction here, and there's a sense of urgency along with this. So let's look at the Hermit card. Please clarify the Hermit. Thank you. We have the Three of Cups in reverse. The Nine of Wands in reverse. And the Queen of Cups in the upright. Okay, so there's a real sense here of the bottom of the deck. We have the Nine of Wands in the upright. And that is 3 nines. The Hermit is 9 as well. This is Virgo energy. We also have Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. Cancer in particular for me. So there's a sense here of withdraw, of letting go of a fight, of not wanting to continue a fight any longer. I do feel that there is a good friend here that there may have been a sense of sacrifice, either for or this I feel good advice. I actually feel good advice about your own cup. And there's a withdrawal from people here. For some of you, because this is a love reading, there is a looking at what a third-party situation and letting go of a third-party situation and what it is that you've gained from this time away, this introspection, this dark night of the soul. It is really interesting that when we start with the Queen of Cups and we end with the Queen of Cups, this Queen is in the upright, and I do feel like it has a very friend-like nature. There's an aspect here of potentially being admired for this self-fulfillment. You may be looking at this person and be very drawn to them. I heard you want to put your lantern in their cup. That's weird. But I'm being drawn to the candle and the lantern and the cup. So there's a sense here of carrying this flame for something. And it could be a friend. Now, they may not know about it, or there is this aspect of like letting go of some sort of fight, letting go of some sense of community. And perhaps they haven't. Perhaps they have built a defense, so to speak, against something. So let's look at this Seven of Swords. Please clarify the Seven of Swords. We have the Nine of Cups in reverse. Please clarify the Seven of Swords. The Four of Cups in reverse. And the Queen of Wands in reverse. This is really unpleasant energy. There's a real sense here at the bottom of the deck. We have the Lover's card. There's a real sense here of making the wrong decision. Of carrying all of this conflict, all of these conflicting thoughts in your head while you're looking at the problem and being unable to really see a way to confront this. And again, this very much represents a decision. Do you come out of the shadows? There's this, I missed an opportunity to be happy. There's very much a sense here of either rejecting an offer or making an offer that was rejected. That had to do with wish fulfillment. It had to do with the Ten of Cups. And even though this is the Nine of Cups, the 10th cup was being offered there. And there's this silence. It feels like silence, and it's almost like you don't know how to feel about this because you're too busy thinking about it. There is a denial of emotions here. There is also a sense of denial as to one's part in this. We have Aries here. Yeah, there's this sense of denial to one's part, and almost this aspect of blaming. So whatever this was, whatever the strategy, or I actually feel like this deception, sometimes I feel like it's self-deception, sometimes I feel like it's someone else being deceptive, but there's this aspect of there being something that is hidden and only being able to see one side of it. So the way the Seven of Swords is set up is he's looking at two swords that are standing in front of a window, and he has 5 swords in his hands. And the way he's positioned, it's almost like he's trying to figure out how to steal those 2 swords, but they're so predominantly out in the open and in the light, he can't really get to them. So there's a sense here of seeing the truth, or of avoiding the truth, because you're busy hanging on to the conflict. This could have been a very significant connection. So let's look at the Hierophant. Please clarify the Hierophant. This is a spiritual teacher. We have the High Priestess in reverse, the Hierophant in the upright, to clarify the Hierophant. So we have Pisces and Taurus. And the Seven of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Swords. So we have an air sign. We've already seen Gemini, Pisces, Taurus, fire sign, water sign. There's a sense of tradition here that it's very much like it's what your heart knows, it's what your heart wants to continue, it's what your heart is fighting for. It's something. Now, with the Hierophant and the High Priestess right next to each other, there's an aspect of feminine energy there's an aspect of the feminine energy being absent or cold, and again, there's like this resistance against this structure. So this horse has 2 heads. Just underneath that is the Hermit. This bird has 2 heads. There's this sense of being in 2 minds about something, and disconnected from intuition and self. This is very much like going to the church to have something absolved, right? Okay, so ultimately what this falls down to is that an apology without action is really not an apology. So just apologizing for something, but not changing the behavior, is not going to, it might get you forgiveness, but it's going to continue the same cycle. There's a real sense here of being of two minds, of like the right hand doesn't know what the left hand is doing, the head doesn't know what the heart is doing. And it's a very disconnected feeling. It's like there's all of this communication happening, but no one is seeing the same point of view. So let's look at the Empress. Please clarify the Empress. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. The Eight of Wands in reverse. And the Six of Cups in the upright. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Eight of Cups. So the Empress is divine feminine energy. The Empress is caring. The Empress is nurturing. The Empress, again, is Venus. This is creating and receiving something beautiful. But it's not creating in the sense of, I'm going to go, you know, it's creating from the heart is what I'm trying to say. You know, the but it's creating. It's not like there's any particular plan of action. There is a very receptive quality about this type of creation, right? This type of creation comes about by two people coming together with a mutual love and respect. This is not something that you can take. This isn't something that you've been trained to do. There's a sense of returning, potentially to like a mother and past energy here that needs to be healed and rebirthed. There's no way to move through it. There's also a realization of returning to the past here and what you've been creating from this past energy. I mean, the Knight of Wands in reverse is someone who is just like over exuberant, inconsistent, you know, untrained. They're also someone who does things distinctly just for the attention of it without recognizing what type of attention that is. So whatever this connection is, there is a real sense here of it could be different from whatever has happened in the past, but there's a need for a completely different behavior and completely different actions, a completely different mindset and a completely different heart space. There's a sense of alignment that's needed, to birth this new cycle, to be able to receive this new cycle. There is an aspect here of a cup being offered, and that you're simply not seeing it. For whatever reason, it does feel like you're guarding yourself from it. I'm also picking up a sense of worth. So whatever it is that you value yourself at, whatever it is that you're comparing yourself to, keep in mind that we are all completely unique individuals. And the only thing that we can compare ourselves to is ourselves. So if we're looking at some sort of structure or someone going, I wish I could be that way, but we're not doing the work, it's, there's no problem in wishing to be that way, but there is a huge problem with comparing yourself and then putting yourself down because you're not there yet. And like I said, there's this real aspect of not having the trust and faith. This was the Queen of Cups. We have the Four of Wands in reverse. The Three of Cups in reverse. Okay, so before I continue, there may be this aspect of finding out someone was getting married or engaged and trying to pursue them anyway, like you wanted to be picked or won over, and then after you won that, you were worried that someone else was going to be able to do the same thing to you. Please clarify the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. So at the bottom of the deck, we have the Two of Swords. Now, in reverse, there is a sense here of exactly what I just said, that this relationship that you were a part of, even though it wasn't necessarily your relationship, broke up and ended. The decision was made and someone's loneliness was fulfilled. There's a sense here of carrying through this, of codependency. So, I do see that this is going to cause a lot of doubt. Going into the future of this relationship. Alright. What is the final message? Thank you. We have Guardian Angel. Beautiful cards. This is the Magdalene deck. Then we're going to get a Shaman card. What is the guidance? I mean, if your sun sign is a water sign, then we have number 21, the Gatherer. Primarily Cancer. There's a sense here of trying to return to who you are with self-nurturing and looking very carefully at the patterns and traditions in your life that you were indoctrinated into. If there is a need to some degree here to follow your heart. So, number 21, the Gatherer. And we'll start with the Shaman. This card talks about the resources that are available to you and how it's not necessary to hunt, which is what the Empress says as well. Before we cultivated grains, we collected the wild bounty of nature. The gatherer finds abundant seeds, nuts, berries, and wild grains where the ordinary person sees only barren soil. The gatherer is the provider, the forager, and the gardener who collects roots and vegetables for the long winter when game is scarce. She does not hoard, trusting the bounty around her. Look at the resources you already have close at hand. This is a time of abundance. Everything around you is ripe and ready for harvest. Banish the notions of scarcity that have limited your choices and colored your destiny. Pack your food for the winter and start with the low-hanging fruit that is all around you. The medicine. Do not wander too far afield in search of what Spirit has already provided. Practice paying it forward, being thankful in advance of receiving. If you are in a scarcity mindset, open your heart to look beyond current conditions, and you will find the bounty being offered to you. Practice sharing, not hoarding. There's something about blue feathers and mermaids. Okay, Guardian Angel. To the rational mind, it seems that nothing can exist without having a beginning and an end. In the physical world, things are born and then they die. Things start, then come to an end. On the surface, this is what we see and often believe. However, when we delve deep into the spiritual heart of matter, a different picture emerges. Energetically, nothing ever truly dies. Everything in life simply transforms. Everything and everyone is forever held within love's eternal embrace. Spiritually, everything and everyone you love are always present. Nothing is ever truly lost or missing. So smile and don't be sad. for everyone you love is forever present in your heart, just as you are forever present within theirs. Time and space are but an illusion. Whether spiritually or physically, we all exist now. Life is but one eternal moment. Very interesting reading. Well, I do hope it was helpful. If it was, please hit the like and subscribe button. And remember, have a beautiful day. I love you. Bye-bye.